Hello everyone, and welcome to Farfarawaytheories, the channel where we will be theorising and discussing everything Shrek. Thank you for your patience in waiting for my first theory. Today's theory will be discussing the mysterious and interesting theory of how Lord Farquaad became a lord. To get to our eventual answer, we need to go through a few things first. First of all, we'll need to talk about Lord Farquaad's origins. From the original Shrek movie, there isn't too much we can find out about Lord Farquaad's origins, except that he's compensating for something. And basically, this is what we're going to explain. And after looking into his character thoroughly, I came to a conclusion. So, we start our story with Farquaad's main problem. Without beating around the bush, he's shorter than most people. And this really enrages him, to the point where he essentially bullies all the other magical creatures, because he has the power to. But where did this bully side of Farquaad come from? For Lord Farquaad to become a lord, he'd either have to marry into lordship, or he would have to become a lord through his family's bloodline. I personally think Lord Farquaad is a natural lord. However, Lord Farquaad wants to be king. I have always theorised that Lord Farquaad has always cheated to get what he wants. It's clear to see he's willing to do anything to become king. He tried to marry Fiona against her will, and even tried to kill Shrek. However, how did Farquaad get to this point? The answer's simple. His right-hand man, Philoneas. Through watching the original Shrek movie, we can tell Philoneas isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. However, he has incredible strength, and Lord Farquaad trusts him as his second opinion, or right-hand man you could say. A lot of you may be thinking, how did I come to this conclusion? Well, I'll tell you. When Lord Farquaad can't choose which princess to rescue and to make his wife, Philoneas says number 3, my lord, and instead of shunning Philoneas and ignoring his answer, he ends up trusting in his judgment and picking number 3. From this, we can tell Lord Farquaad has a huge trusting in Philoneas, or he wouldn't have bothered to listen to his opinion, considering how dull he is. However, this isn't the first time Lord Farquaad has showed faith in Philoneas. There's a scene where the magical mirror says that Lord Farquaad technically isn't a king, and then Farquaad trusts Philoneas to intimidate the mirror into doing what he says. This isn't a spree-of-the-moment decision. Farquaad is clearly used to using Philoneas as his muscle to get what he wants, or to scare people into doing what he says, considering his stature. But I'm going to go one step forward in this theory and tell you all what I think is their deal. As we can tell, Lord Farquaad was probably looked down on and bullied in the Shrek universe. We can probably theorise this from his very salty attitude towards fairy tale creatures. He absolutely hates them, essentially being racist towards them and sending them to Shrek's swamp. And that's the conflict of the movie. Shrek wants to get his swamp back, and he'll do anything to do it. And the reason Shrek goes on the quest in the first place, as we know, Lord Farquaad exiled all the fairy tale creatures from Duloc and the surrounding areas to Shrek's swamp, and seemingly places other than Shrek's swamp. Farquaad also made his higher ranked soldiers sell the more unique fairy tale creatures in auctions. We know this because we see Donkey in the very same auction, and he obviously escapes using the magic fairy dust, and because he ran into Shrek. So, Lord Farquaad clearly doesn't care about the creatures, and will happily make a profit from them if he thinks he can. However, because of Lord Farquaad's issues, I believe part of his origin story was finding Philoneas. As we can tell, Philoneas likes his job. He does whatever Lord Farquaad says without question, and is even at Lord Farquaad's wedding. Lord Farquaad is never disrespectful towards Philoneas either, which is very impressive considering his rather harsh attitude towards others that aren't himself. He's even arrogant enough to trick the people of Duloc that his noble quest is worth it, even saying, if they die, it's a sacrifice he's willing to make. Although it's a funny moment, it really shows how cold-hearted and ruthless Lord Farquaad is, so it's impressive that Philoneas means so much to him. I think, in the past, Lord Farquaad was down on his luck, maybe mistreated by his family, because maybe he had a sibling who was taller than him, or was more successful. This made Farquaad bitter. However, he never had the muscle to achieve anything other than mediocre tasks, because I can imagine people would have ignored him because he was so salty. However, after meeting Philoneas, they may have bonded over similar problems. Philoneas isn't very smart, so the people of Duloc and the surrounding regions probably didn't respect him very much. However, Lord Farquaad noticed Philoneas' strength, and they formed an alliance. Lord Farquaad is the brains, and Philoneas the brawn. And so, their dynamic pairing was forged. And slowly over time, Farquaad would delegate with other lords and higher-ups, using Philoneas' intimidating strength to make them do what Lord Farquaad demanded. And eventually, he gained the people of Duloc's respect through fear or his mere charisma. However, Philoneas is a huge factor in this, because anyone that would silence or mock Farquaad would get...
Philoneas... You were saying?
Yeah, you guys get the idea. So what do you think? Do you think this theory makes sense? After watching Shrek for the 20,052nd time, I came to this conclusion. It took me a long time to really think of the logistics of Lord Farquaad. After having many other theories about Lord Farquaad in the past, I think this one makes the most sense. Lord Farquaad has the charisma and brains, and even venom to get what he wants, and Philoneas will muscle through anyone to help him achieve it. And I'm sure Lord Farquaad pays Philoneas handsomely through both gold, respect, and possibly a friendship that we don't see on screen. It really wouldn't surprise me. What other reason would Philoneas have for not appearing in any of the other movies except the first? After Farquaad was eaten by Dragon, he had no reason to stay in Duloc. Staying there would only bring him pain. What do you guys think of my Shrektacular theory? Make sure to hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video, as it will really help this channel grow. Also subscribe, and hit the bell to join the Farfarawaytheories swamp, and to get notifications for whenever I upload a new theory. Also, if you want more updates and behind the scenes content for Farfarawaytheories, and more Shrek related content, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. A link to the Farfarawaytheories Twitter is in the description below, and the name of the Instagram will be there too. But if you're curious, the name for the Instagram is Farfarawaytheories, with no spaces. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe, and have a Shrektastic day.
Bye-bye. See you later.